Hello again, everybody. Sebastian here. This is going to be another Watcher of Realms video. So, as we started here, season 6 in the global server, I've been going around now for 3 weeks in Forerunners. So, we're kind of getting used to the map and trying to understand what the limitations are from the perspective of rosters to demon soldier levels and what it is that we can do to try to tackle some of these defenses. So, a lot of these formations that we are seeing, of course, are return from season 1 through 3 map because we are seeing a lot of nightmare composition. Another favorite is the 2 tank formation that I'm seeing, whether it's spread out here in the middle or they're just stacking them up. That's another one that we now have to adjust to now, given that there are opportunities to put fighters in positions where they can do some damage as well and contribute towards the defense of the map. So what I did here is for this past week is that I collected some clips of fights that I encountered, and that for some reason I saw my guildmates having a little bit of a struggle with. So it's kind of just to illustrate to them how exactly you could go about working on your timings and beating them, and of course then also understanding that you have to highly affiliate your demon soldiers. So let's start here with this first one. And I also, for this, I did grab some from the global server, so you're gonna see those are a little bit more highly affiliated, and we're going up against very tough guilds. So those battles are gonna have a different feeling to them because there is a lot of timings that we have to work through. And there were a couple of clips that I was able to say, I think we can show these without really disturbing what the meta might be and not showing too much in that regard. So to my guildmates, I would say, just relax. I'm not showing too much. It'll be fine. All right, so this first battle here, you can kind of see already the setup of it. I'm going to have to deal with very strong DPS. And we have an Ajax and a Raja and a Silas here. So I did notice that there was some struggle here. My idea for this, though, because I did see that they were trying to fly over it, you can do that if you time it well. But the orbs seem to throw people off a little bit. To me, it wasn't something that I was going to be too concerned about, because if I could time things correctly, I could probably get through Baron. That's what I felt, at least with my roster. All right, so here I kind of split things up a little bit. And so I did send out the Templar first just to bait Silas out and to also get Aracha's ultimate out of the way. And then I just send the Slaughters, the Daggers here. Just go ahead. See if we can at least eliminate the first invincibility, that just to trigger that death passive that he has, where he is protected by death. And luckily for me, because of my affiliations, I was able to go right through it. Now, this wave here, I wasn't expecting them to actually go through it because there is a lot of damage to go in there, but they survived long enough to get through and actually go through and beat this defense there. But I did have backup units in case I didn't notice. If these have died, at least I had some backup units that I could send out. So that's why I sent the Templar out, because I was getting ready to bait Silas out again. So then I can just send the dogs and finish this off. All right. All right, so now let me go back to the setup for the second battle here. So this is something that we are seeing a lot in terms of character that people are really liking to use, and this is I. So in this setup here, they're using I to basically plug the lane here. It's essentially just putting roadblocks, and they are trying to dissuade you from, or at least they're making you think, I want to dissuade you from swarming me, and I want you to go through Cyrus. No, I don't like that. I'm gonna say that trying to go through Cyrus is often very difficult, and I really don't know what awakening that Cyrus is, and I don't want to find out. But I do know that I can bait Sargak, we can bait Anora, and then we can build things up with the Necros and then try to swarm it. If my first set of that swarm does not do it, at least hopefully they clear enough of the path where then the second one goes through. So this is exactly what I tried to set up here. All right, so I'm gonna send out my trusty Templar, and we're gonna start. We're gonna try to bait ultimates, but at the same time, I want to protect him and see if I can at least build a wall with him. So Sargak is gonna try to get him out of the way. So he's not hitting that hard. So, but the Fool's Shield is helping, and I'm gonna send the healer out. So now things are getting set for me. I am setting the wall. So here we come. I'm going to set the Necros out. Now remember, I have the healer there, so hopefully he heals them enough. I'm going to send the other healer out as well. So this is here kind of the win condition. This is my win condition. They gotta hold up long enough. All right, so here I send the first set of dogs out. Now, one of the things, at least that you can see, they're kind of clearing the path for me, but at the same time, Sargak's ultimate is going off. That is fine. I did get caught up with the crystals there, and that's what eventually eliminated me, at least for this first set. Let's just send the second set out because things are a little bit clearer, and that I wasn't really fast enough to replenish the ice crystals, or the ice bombs, I should say, onto the field for me to then be able to rush through. So that was that one. That was that battle there. All right, so this one here, actually, because of the PP, you probably are expecting these heroes to smack Iobar, Hex, and Silas. Not only that, we have them one tile range extended, so he was able to pick up some shields, some blue shields. At least that's what we refer to when you win the defense, right? You get some blue shields. So I noticed he picked up some blue shields from a guild, so I said, if I can at least clean him up, right, hit him again, and then hopefully somebody can wipe him out after the course of the second day, perfect. So here my idea first is I'm gonna send the Templar out because I want Iobar's ultimate to go out, because my idea here is try to A, kill Iobar, or try to get Lily's passive or Lily's revival wasted on Iobar. So that's her ultimate. Right. Okay, so now the Garner Guards, they're done. Their purpose has been lost. I send out a healer because maybe I thought if I could maybe make him last a little bit longer, they could get another shot on Iobar. They didn't. So, okay, so now I'm looking at ultimates, essentially what it's doing. Looking at the regeneration of Iobar, looking at Silas, I was looking at Hex there. So now it's one of those things that I said, I'm going to try to time this. I'm going to send my lightning guards out, and here is kind of the hope that I'm trying to make sure that they make it in time before Iobar's ultimate went off, which it looked like he did get it back and he was able to hit me, so definitely he got one shot. So there, at least I got Lily's revive out of the way. They took another shot. They took a shot on Iobar. They took a shot on Silas. Now they're done. Here's the thing, though. They tried to take a couple of shots on Hex here, but you saw he became invisible. So we couldn't completely take him out. So now I got a plan for this. And at least I got the Templar here that can draw his ultimate. So that's exactly what you're going to see me here do. Just wait it out for the Templar to draw Hex ultimate. And the idea here is just that you just need to time my rare flyers here, the lizard flies, to go up against Hex. We almost lost track of time, or we almost lost to the timer, but at least we had some time remaining there to get to that core. So that's how I beat that one. That's how I contended with that one. This here is kind of a repeat of what we saw before with but now things are a little bit more tighter. We have Hatsu to deal with, we have Arrogance to deal with. So this kind of is a adaptation of the Nightmare compositions that are coming into play a little bit. Is this, so 698, this is the global server. So this is one that we knew we needed to get very high affiliated slaughterers for this to work, all right? If your slaughterers do not take out Torador, the run is done. That's essentially what's happening here. Okay, now one of the benefits, at least from the replays, one of the replays that I saw, one of the benefits is that for this particular example here, and why we decided to kind of go with the strat, because we notice Hatsuit here has a Reaper's emblem, so he is counting on killing air, right, to then gain extra attack. This would have been Hydro's Gaze. There would have been more RNG to this, but there wasn't. So I prefer to use Hydro Gaze when I do use Hatsuit on any defense. So have your guildmates test things out for you, all right? See what the Hatsuit is doing and what her interaction is. Don't just throw artifacts because you have them fully leveled. Sometimes they just won't do what you need them to do. All right, so here we go. Keeping an eye on Hatsuit, but we're gonna send the knight over here, and I'm setting things up now with the knight to draw ultimates, and I'm gonna send again the slaughterers, the slaughterers, the daggers, and my healer right behind them. Here's the hope: is to at least trigger one death, the bubble. So we got at least rid of the soul lances. One, we did trigger one death, perfect. I'm feeling good. Now I can say I'm ready for the second. We can now, if my first wave doesn't survive here, maybe the second one will do it. So you see here the knight is just rocking it. He's just staying alive. He's drawing ultimates. That's perfect. So we're going to send the second one out because I thought the first one was going to go down and it didn't. That's fine. Now we're going to send the second wave here. And now you're going to see. So one of the lucky things is the knights was able to take out Torador for me. So the rest was easy. So now we just have to get around arrogance and we have to get around Hatsuit. That's it. We got through the ice crystals. GG. Perfect victory here. All right. In this scenario here, I like to kind of term this as I made a mistake on the first one. I learned from it and I adjusted and went on the second. So here my idea was going to be, okay, let's draw out the ultimate with one of my Faroas. And then I'm going to send the Gunner Guards to try to wipe out Pradius. Because, as I told you in my previous video, we see that interaction. If we're able to push the Gunner Guards onto the tank or Regulus here, we're going to be able to get to Pradius. Now, I'll give this player or this defense credit because their Pradius is tanky, definitely tanky, right? Now here's the thing, like I said, my first idea was, okay, let me send one Faro out, see if the Garner Guts can get to him. I almost had it. So now it was one of those things as to, okay, I didn't take him out. I'm gonna try to build the wall with the one Faro I have left. And I send the healer out, I send the Necros out, and then I send my other healer out. And here is just kind of the waiting game, right? Because I know the Torador is there. It's right in the middle. So I have to play the dogs really carefully. I have to monitor to see what the Necros are doing. Are skeletons getting through? Because if there isn't enough skeletons for Torador to take Torador's block, they're not going to help me at all. So here I'm just hoping that things hold up. I had the 10 seconds there, and as you can see, there wasn't enough skeletons built up for me to then be able to get through Torador. And so one overload from Ingrid, it took me out. So I said, all right. Now in my head, I'm thinking, could this have played better if I took a different strategy? So I brought in the same composition again. Now here, again, I was trying to see if I was being RNG'd with Pradius. So I just sent the Garner Guards out. There's like kind of a race in terms to see if I could get to Pradius before his ultimate activated. I did not. But same thing happened as before. That's fine. So now Pradius is there. Okay, fine. But I have two Faroas now. So let's go. Let's try to build that wall again. So I'm going to send them both out. So here we go. Now I'm going to send my healer out. I'm going to send the Necros. Now I'm going to send the other healer when I have the 3 cost. And now it's a race against time again. Now, because I had that extra Feroa sitting around, taking the hits, perfect. Now things are building up for me here. You can kind of see all this mess going on in there. The skeletons are, the Necros are surviving. The Necros are releasing skeletons. This time I was lucky enough to get 3 dogs right through Torador, and I was able to get through that defense. So don't get dissuaded. Don't get, don't lose faith because you lost your first try. There's always ways to adjust this one. Okay, so this one I did. I don't think we're gonna see this type of defense again. So we'll share. I'm willing to share this one. For this one, it was a strategy that my guildmates came up with, and I'm just gonna show it to you because of how neat it worked. It worked better for them than it did for me, and I'll explain why. But essentially, is we're gonna try to bomb this. Is essentially what came out to, and a lot of that had to do with the position of Boreas. Okay, if Boreas wasn't situated here, this strat I don't think would have worked because his ultimate would have become activated, right? So we have Emerald here and Nora here, and of course we have Cyrus, of course. But at least with the healer back here, at least we all know that we only have these 2 fellas to contend with at the beginning. So if we can get at least one, if we can get one out of the way, maybe we have a chance. But the idea here really was to take both of them out. Now, one of the things you're going to see me do, or you're going to see me struggle with here, is that I usually like to click on an enemy hero to try to place down my units, especially if I'm trying to put 2 together to release them at the same time. So here's where in my head I'm thinking, okay, how am I going to do this? Because I don't see the tiles. And I need to release all 10 of these crawlers at the same time. So I'm trying to put him down. I'm trying to put him down here. So eventually what I did is, like, I was getting ready to try to go with my mouse and try to click twice and get them all released at the same time. So the size of the map, unfortunately, is not allowing me to do this double click or the pause strategy. But here the idea again is let's take the blocks from the skeleton and Cyrus with the little the crawlers. They're not spiders. I can't remember that. To me, they're just crawlers. But I'm gonna send 2 bombs in to try to see if we could get everything set up for those 2 bombs to go in. The idea here, though, is to take Nora and Emerald out. That's ideally the play here. So let's speed things up. Let's get the bombs through. So you kind of see now that some of the crawlers got stuck with Cyrus and the bombs go up. Now, it took the healer out. It took Nora out. It did not take Emerald out. So now here is where I'm in the, oh crap, I think I just might have lost this. So, because I still see those 4 crawlers there, and I see the healer, I'm going to say, okay, maybe release the bombs. Okay, let's release the bombs. So there's, I'm going to speed things up a little bit here. And then Emerald, of course, goes through his ultimate, starts wiping things out. And I was like, okay, fine. Let me release the healers here. And so my last play here is to send the slaughterers out. Yep, so just send these guys out, and hopefully they can get through because there is no healer. They did get through. Now Boreas does his thing, so hopefully he doesn't clap me, and he didn't. So that one, I got away with it. I got away with it, even though I did not bomb everybody out like I wanted to begin with. So that's kind of the battles that I encounter each time. This one here was one that I think, for my perspective, it was just annoying to see my guildmates get clapped by it. And so there were 2 tanks. So they thought, if I really don't know what they were trying to do half the time. But either way, the one thing that I said was, no, this guy deserves a Ma. So that's exactly what I'm going to leave you with. I'm going to leave you with at least one of the battles of the many ones where I did use Ma, just to kind of give you an idea as to how I tried to get around the Silas on the top, and then Anora's magic damage here, trying to get two tanks through two tanks, very heavy, sturdy tanks. So broker, not enough relief, not enough support, so we were able to get through it. And so since I already had kind of built a wall, I just decided I'm just going to send my dogs out. Don't worry about Silas, and just get him out of the way, get him swarmed, and just have my guildmates quit wasting attacks on that. So that'll do it. That's pretty much it for the early season 6 GvG and the season 6 GvG event that Watcher of Realms is having for content creators. I wanted to share some of the battles that I did this week, so I hope you enjoyed them, and you kind of get an idea of what my thinking process is with some of these battles. Sometimes, most of the time, for me, especially in global servers, it's just a BP check. It's just to make sure that we can get through them, and make sure that we have highly affiliated demonsoldiers. So that's essentially what you're going to have to look to in terms of your setups, is just to see, do you think that you can BP check things, especially with defenses that are well put together, right? And then take advantage of the one that's just bad positions. Those are the ones that didn't show to you. The ones where bad positions, there's no need, right, to show you easy wins. It just has to be something that is cohesive and just trying to show you how to possibly get around it, how to possibly build walls and then set up the swarms and stuff like that. And I is a favorite character. The 2-tank thing is a favorite thing to do right now. Eventually will evolve, especially with the 8 weeks. Things evolve. We see different things being tried out. One of them is going to stick eventually, and we'll have to try to really get through that somehow. All right, folks. Thank you all very much for tuning in and watching. If you did appreciate the content of this video, please do hit like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next Watcher of Realms video.